Oh, well, hi there. Welcome back. Today I'm going to be addressing moss balls in general, not the fabrication, but just the maintenance and see what needs to be addressed on different plants. Of course, they're going to be philodendrons and monsteras mainly, but stay tuned also for the next episode because the next episode I'm going to attach some monsteras to moss balls. But let's address today what it's already in the works. All right, so here I have just a couple of examples. There are several that need major attention, like extensions and chopping extension. Let's start with this in this episode. Then I have other things, and stay tuned for that because I'm going to have an arrangement of anthuriums. Here I have a couple of syngoniums, a couple of philodendrons. I'm going to put this bigger ones for the end. My most posts are Most of them are in the back, this back wall. As you can see, they are like leaves to clean up, revise the growing medium, the moisture level on the moss ball. This is a philodendron white princess. One of the things that I like to do with this, at least every 6 months. Usually they'll say they still like in well shape for about 6 months. I'll use coconut oil like liquid. And this is something that also not only shines the leaves, but helps with the photosynthesis of the plant. It keeps pests away, and let's face it, they look better. Now, I'm wondering what could be the issue with this particular one, because it's getting nutritious water, it's in the right soil mix on a moss ball. All the conditions are supposed to be favorable, but if you see the size of the leaf is actually diminishing instead of getting bigger. So I don't know what could be the issue of that, considering that that is not something that is on the top. It might be something in the soil. So that's something that we're going to check now and see if there's something that we cannot see that is happening, because the last three leaves, especially four leaves, are the one that are growing smaller. And I'm trying to see if if that tight, that velcro tie was too tight. So like I feel there's moisture here on top of the moss ball, but here is a little not so moist. But we are going to check on the actual soil. In this even though the soil, well, the soil is not super wet, so I'm gonna say that it's lacking moisture in this area, so it needs a bit of watering. Smells like dirt, like it doesn't have any foul smell that will be a sign of any type of rotting, but it's not the case. The root system is quite small. It probably has attached to the moss ball itself. So I'm not finding any major reason for this to be happening except the fact that maybe the lower part of the moss ball is not well saturated with moisture. With that in mind, I'm just going to keep it a good nutritious water, a good amount of, and see what happens. Now the plant being completely attached to the moss ball right now, I don't need to put to secure it with the straps because it's already attached. If the plant starts to like come off of the pole later on, then I can add a strap as he needs it. That would have been my other wild guess, because the media is not, bone dry. It has moisture in it. I don't know. It's a puzzle as far as like what is it that is going on. I thought that maybe it was the root system, but the root system is looking fine. It's just that we need to add, possibly like give it a really good soaking for the whole plant. This is my bigger white princess, and you can see I have a little pop in here. If you can see, let me show you what's going on here. Because it looks like there's two, but it's coming out of the same plant. And the second one up here is not reaching to the moss ball. So let's see how we fix this. Remove any dead leaves, any decaying material. So now I'm going to remove this strap and see if this can get closer to the moss ball right there so it can attach properly. I'm going to adjust this strap. Now this is something that I was trying with this particular moss ball. I think I may have one more randomly out there that I did the same. I know I have one, at least one more. We'll get to that when I find it. Is that I have added this little terracotta cone. I don't know what you call these. Like I came across them maybe 2 or 3 years ago when I was in Dallas, and they're kind of like a slow release watering system because the water will just sip out as you need it from the soil around it. But I decided to put it on moss balls because I can just fill up this cup when I'm watering them, and then slowly will moisten the sphagnum moss. So on this one right here, I'm right at the end. As you see, the last couple of nodes that have growth are attached to the moss ball, but it's gonna need a little more because there's a new node here that is gonna throw an aerial root to attach to the moss ball very soon. I don't have much of a net there, so I'm just gonna put another piece of netting, and then I'm gonna fill it up with moss. I have smaller zip ties, but we're already here. I just wanna make this happen without so many transitions. I have mentioned how easy these moss balls are to make and to extend and to maintain. So if you look at here in the back, this netting is only hold in the back with just two small little zip ties, and right now the single strap that I had lower in the moss ball is the one that I'm using up higher. So because I don't want to dig into this pot for to divide this, all I'm going to do with this little pup is bring it back and add another tie so it gets closer to the moss ball, and it probably will attach. And later on, because probably in about a year, maybe before that, these will have to be chopped and extend. All right, with that done, I'm gonna shine the leaves. All right, so first of all, I stand corrected. This is not a white princess, this is a white wizard. I'm helping to release the new leaf from here. There are actually two leaves. I'm also noticing a little diminishing on the leaf size. I mean, if we compare this to this and the top, but I don't feel like the moss ball is dry either. I see moisture on the soil. There's no triggering smell. So this must also be, this dimension of the leaf must also be because they're outside and they spend the winter outside. I did not bring these plants in whatsoever. Remember that of course the lower temperatures these plants get is like 45 degrees, and that's only at night. So that's probably the price that I have to pay for that lack of heat. Because of course these plants do better between 65 and 85 degrees. Let me get some moss. I have two leaves coming out of the stem on the left of the screen, and the one on the right of the screen is the one that give this smaller leaf, and this a new one coming out right there. So I'm also gonna give this a good watering, even though it's not looking that is the issue. So there is the white wizard. Right, let's get this little poor Syngonium out of the way. He needs some moss in the back. This one I almost lost all the leaves, in the winter. I noticed that Syngoniums are particularly susceptible to the cold and they go dormant. I'm going to show you a couple of them. There's another few that I have around the garden, and they do not like much the colder temperatures either. But they come back. I have the two of them that I'm going to show you. One is in a planter. You can see this one is a Baltic that is in this planter, and I just tossed it in there because it was a little cutting that I had. And then I have this one over here that is on a moss ball. And then I have over here I have an Albo that I tossed in these bigger different moss balls that I ordered from Temu, and they were horrible. But I give it a try on this, and it's needing also a little more moss. The ID for this is on the screen right now. So let's get some moss for these two. Let's give it a little shine, a little bit of fertilizer there. Then I'm just gonna move the strap that is lower here and secure it right there in the middle. So that's for this Syngonium. Now we're moving on to the Pink Princess. I'm not 100% sure if this is the regular Pink Princess. I had a bigger one that I sold when I was in Dallas. This one is doing fine. I believe it could do better. But again, I am not providing the amount of heat that they need. Just remember that I have this mitten for dusting furniture. Now when it comes to you see that it hasn't thrown any aerial roots, but it's moving away from the moss ball. So I'm just gonna move the strap higher. The amount of moss is still okay. Let me get this even higher to provide a little more leverage. And there is one of my Pink Princess. You saw the other one probably in the other little repot that I did. Now this Albo, like a little wipe, because even that this water is great in comparison to Dallas, it's not 100% clean. All right, so to end this video, I wanted to point out an example of stagnant growth. I've had this Soderoi for 2 years. It does this. I probably this fall I'm gonna bring it inside to see if it makes a difference. But when I had it in Dallas, because this one was also part of the import that I got in September of 2023. If you can see, there's one stem here that completely died. The difference is that all this growth was like here, now is up here, but it doesn't want to do more than that. So all I can say is possibly that one's more consistent warmth, because in Dallas was inside. This one was never outside, so it was in a controlled temperature. It was under grow lights, and it was the same story. So for me, this is one of those examples that this plant is one of those that is, it's not a grower. It's just one of those that just hangs in there, and it doesn't care to shine. And that's what's happening in the world of plants. It's just like us. Some of us, are more driven. Some of us are more laid back and lazy. So I guess this is one of those lazy specimens. Because I've seen this plant higher, taller than me, with massive leaves. She's not one of them. So, but not for that, I'm going to toss it away. I love it just like any other my other ones. So with that said, I'm just going to fill up this with a little more moss and be done with this video. There's more coming up. Like I have lots of other moss balls to tend to, but I need to get back in. I need to get material so I can make those extensions. And if you've seen on the other videos, I have different types. So I have to get at least like three different ones, and that will be next week. So in the next video, stay tuned, because I'm doing an arrangement of flamingos, the flamingo flower, which is an anthurium, and I'm doing an arrangement all of them in one single pot. So stay tuned for the next one. Thank you so much for sticking around. Please drop a like, comment, share, and more than anything, subscribe to my channel. I appreciate that more than anything. Talk to you soon.